Welcome to the Natural Health and Healing Show with one of New England's leading nutritionists, Mark Mincolla. The show is brought to you by the Good Health Stores in Hanover and Twin Cities. Call Mark at 781-837-4900 with your health and nutrition questions. Now, here's Mark.
Good evening and welcome. And indeed, Larry is correct. This will be our last broadcast of the Natural Health and Healing Show right here on WATD. Mixed feelings, of course, mixed emotions. We're moving the broadcast to 96.9 FM, WTKK. That'll be next Sunday at 5 p.m. And we've had 8 phenomenal years here and have made great friends and had great experiences here. Going to miss Larry Nelson, of course, Ed Perry. There's no finer place in the world than WATD. Catherine Foley, you can attest to all this.
I can, absolutely.
Great to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
And it's not going to be all about waving bye-bye. We've got some content to deal with per usual. We've got business to manage as usual here.
Yes.
And I just wanted to let everybody know that I've had to kind of contend with emotion here because it's been a remarkable 8 years. And all you out there and the listening audience, of course, are very much an important part of this whole experience. The folks, of course, at the wonderful Good Health Natural Food Stores, Chris Rappold, etc. So many people have played such a significant role in the Good Health, in the Natural Health and Healing program here. So many thanks to all those people. But again, we're not going away. We're just moving in a different direction and slightly different direction on the dial.
It's an amazing sign. Healthcare is a big issue.
It really is, and no question about it. And the demand is there, and there's a lot of people that we have to reach, of course. And this is a mission. It's the way I see it. And I just have to reach as many people with the information as we possibly can.
Right. It's critical.
It is indeed. So again, with mixed emotions, we acknowledge those realities. But indeed, that's the last opening that Larry will play here. And folks, if you're interested in calling in this evening, you can feel free to call in at 781-837-4900. You might have some questions here for us this evening. But Catherine,
yes,
talk to us a little bit about the probiotic reality. I guess that Jaro has done a tremendous amount of new research in the area of probiotics and developing new products.
Yes, we have a couple new probiotics coming to the market. We actually have a probiotic. It's an allergen-free probiotic, and what I mean by saying that is people that have dairy allergies. The probiotics are grown on a medium where no dairy or soy comes into contact with the probiotic, and that's quite hard to achieve. So they use like a nutrient agar. It's also in a vegetarian capsule, so this will very much be a vegan option for people for probiotics. There were not that many out there.
Fantastic. And, I think it's also really important to mention that folks can actually do a great deal to support their good bacteria with food. Mm-hmm. Food's an important part of that equation. Most folks are aware of the fact that yogurt, of course, has acidophilus and various cultures in it. Of course, cottage cheese, many of the cottage cheeses that are out there are cultured as well. Tofu is a cultured food.
Right.
And those are probiotic foods, but there's also prebiotic foods.
Yes.
That's not spoken about very often, but prebiotic foods are those foods that actually support your good bacteria by feeding them and enhancing their ability to grow and metabolize.
Yeah, we actually, a beverage company, unfortunately I think they're a subsidiary of Coca-Cola, but a beverage company is launching a prebiotic beverage, and they're using the Jaro brand name. And it has FOS in it, and it's going to be commercially available at grocery stores.
Fructooligosaccharides.
Yes, it's fructooligosaccharides are a simple starch, and they feed the bacteria. They give the bacteria the nutrients that they need to do their job, the energy and the nutrients they need.
And most folks are not aware of the fact that fruit does that. Whole grain products will do that, and pectins, of course. A lot of the foods, the allylic sulfides like onions and garlic and leeks will do the same thing. So these are foods that actually feed your good bacteria and make them stronger.
Right. And it was funny. I actually met with a close friend of mine who is making a transition into a vegetarian diet, and we were talking about how hard it is to transition from, meat proteins to all vegetable proteins, and getting the most out of being a vegetarian, and how important it is to take probiotics to help your body digest those extra heavy fibers that come along with all the vegetable protein.
Right. Well, and I think, too, so many children nowadays, of course, are on the antibiotic merry-go-round this time of year, where they get some kind of ear infection or strep or something, and they're put on an antibiotic, and then, again, they're put on another antibiotic and another. And before the winter's out, they're on 2 or 3 courses of antibiotics, and they're stripping down all that good bacteria.
Yep.
And really, I've seen over the years in my practice a lot of people who become profoundly compromised immunologically and became very, very ill with some kind of serious chronic condition, the result of their compromised immunity with so many antibiotics. So important to think in terms of building up with prebiotics and probiotics to build up that good bacteria.
And it's interesting that you say that. And when we think about antibiotic usage, we also know that, unfortunately, there's a great deal of antibiotics in circulation in our food source, and they've even found some in public drinking water and, things like this. So it's always good to have healthy bacteria because you're getting exposed to antibiotics in the meat and, everywhere now.
Well, commercial dairy products, of course, commercial milks and whatnot are loaded with antibiotics because the cattle, of course, is factory farmed, as they say, which means that they're just carelessly, haphazardly loading them up with antibiotics just to keep them healthy for market.
Yeah, and we get exposed to that, and I get, the question all the time when it comes to taking supplements, like why, I shouldn't have to take these all the time, and that is true, but we unfortunately live in a world where your exposure to all of these things that kill your bacteria are constant and it's consistent. So I always look at our probiotic sales and it's like, what are people doing with all of these bugs, But it just goes to show how many people are impacted by it.
Well, the other thing that's really amazing to me is that microbiologists are still looking into the types of bacteria that naturally occur in the human body. They're still trying to identify with them. I mean, there's so many millions of bacteria that we haven't even begun to identify with.
Yeah, we've only identified 2% of the population.
It's incredible. And when you think about that, it's astounding that we're able to sustain the kind of bacterial immunity that we can, really, because the idea of prebiotic, again, folks who eat well, folks who eat basically healthy fruits and vegetables, whole grain, not white flour products and whatnot, are unaware of the fact that they're really helping their cause as far as feeding their good bacteria with these healthy type of dietary patterns.
Right. In probiotics too, a good yogurt that has lots of good probiotics in it, you can tell it has that watery film on the top.
Right.
That's a sign that you have active probiotics in your yogurt. And so if you don't see a lot of the commercially available yogurts, you don't see that.
You take that first couple scoops out, and the next morning, if you don't see all that in there,
where is this coming from? I remember just like, where is it coming from? A lot of people pour it off, and then it comes back.
Get rid of that good stuff.
That's lactic acid, and it's a byproduct of the bacteria fermenting the lactose in the yogurt, and that's a good thing. That means that a lot of the inherent lactose is digested and fermented, so your body is seeing less lactose.
It's like a lacto-fermented whey liquid is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And the microbiologists have shown that, even lactic acid is really good. It buffers your system. It helps to alkalize your system.
Yeah, and people are not aware of the fact that good probiotic bacteria, such as Acidophilus bifidus, etc., will actually, I found research that indicate that it will lower cholesterol, lower certain health risks, lower certain cancer risks like colorectal cancers, etc.
Well, one of the products that we work with called Femdophilus, it's 2 bacteria for women.
Yep.
The researcher, Dr. Gregor Reed, is an amazing researcher, but he also has a nonprofit organization called Milk Mothers, and he was raised in South Africa, so he went back to villages in South Africa where they had really high incidence of HIV, and taught them how to culture milk with his bacteria. And over the course of 10 years, they've seen the CD4 counts rise in pregnancies, babies with larger birth weight, etc. Just from probiotics alone, they're not on drug cocktails.
Incredible. I see Larry Nelson wants to culture some commercials for us right now, so we'll be right back in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. We're witnessing great changes in health management in the U.S. At Good Health, helping you take charge of your own health and well-being is our only mission. The real bottom line, we can all significantly improve our health through sensible nutrition, supplementation, and lifestyle changes. All that's required is your desire to make your family's health a priority. So visit Good Health in Quincy and Hanover today and see what the natural wellness revolution is all about. Thanks for listening.
Right in our area, we are fortunate to have one of the top martial arts schools in the country, Personal Best Karate. Personal Best has been recognized for their community involvement, professional staff development, character building programs, and exciting educational curriculum. Personal Best stands at the top of their industry. 5 locations offering personalized professional instruction. Not sure if karate is right for you? At no obligation, the staff at Personal Best will guide you in a private introductory program to see if karate is indeed the right fit to help you achieve your goals and meet your needs. What does karate at Personal Best teach you? Character building, success habits, helps you get in shape, relieve stress, self-control, setting goals, and of course, self-defense. Personal Best's goal is to create successful, contributing members of society through the practice of the martial arts at Personal Best. Mr. Chris Rappold is, of course, the founder of Personal Best Karate. He tells me his greatest joy of all is to see the personal transformation in each and every student. Bring out your best with Personal Best Karate. Telephone number 508-285-5425. That's 508-285-5425. Locations in Norton, Foxborough, Southeaston, Franklin, and Taunton. That's Personal Best Karate.
Alrighty, welcome back. And we've been having a discussion with Catherine Foley of Jara Formulas about probiotics and some of the new probiotic research. That last bit that you just mentioned before the break, amazing. Why don't you kind of elucidate on that a little bit?
Yeah, Dr. Reed, and people can look up the information. The program is called Milk Mothers. He actually was just recognized by the World Health Organization and given an award for his research. It's just 2 bacteria, and what they do is they help to kind of like raise the immunity, fight viruses, and all of that stuff. But he knew that it was going to help birth weight and all of this stuff. He didn't know that it was going to have an effect on CD4 count and help women that are suffering with HIV. He didn't know that. So this was completely a surprise, and it just shows the power of when your system is healthy and intact, how well it can rebuild itself.
Yeah, and what it also shows, and there have been many other different types of studies that show the same thing, that the immune system is holistic. It's all sort of networked together.
Right.
And that if you do one really powerful positive thing, for example, positive thinking.
Right.
The idea of increasing your immune cells with positive thoughts.
Right.
Probiotics, enhancing your good bacteria.
Right.
You do something good for the immune system, and it seems to be positive contagion.
It's funny, in the folks up at Institute Roselle, where we do a lot of our research with the probiotics and where we get the strains, the scientists up there are just wonderful, and they have been working on some research for many years of the chemical messenger signals that the probiotics send out in the gut and how they affect the surrounding tissue. And when a pathogen comes into the surrounding area, like say E. coli, they actually almost start talking to each other, and they're trying to isolate these molecules.
Cytokines.
Yeah.
They communicate.
They communicate, and they all aggregate, and it's just amazing. And so
it is amazing. There's a whole subterranean world inside these bodies of ours, and they're constantly communicating in their own unique ways.
It is. Did you see the movie Avatar?
I couldn't get into that.
I'm sorry.
I ended up seeing the the Scorsese movie.
Yeah. It's hard. You can't get a ticket. It's the toughest ticket in town.
I saw the Scorsese movie, and I'm still trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
It's the most perplexing movie I've ever seen in my life.
Is it?
It's crazy.
Yeah, Avatar was really great, and there, it's there's this underlying principle of how interconnected the world is, and they really do a great job at visualizing that and sending that message out. And I think these messages are starting to become pop culture, and I think that's really, really wonderful.
It sure is. It sure is. All right. So for the average listener at home right now, saying, "Okay, I got the idea. These probiotics are well. First of all, the prebiotics are important. Eating well, eating healthy, because that sets up the support system for my good bacteria, and certainly want to do that. But what specifically should I take and why in terms of supplementing with a probiotic? What would you say to them?
With a probiotic, because we've already spoken that there's like over 1 million species of bacteria in your intestinal tract, you want to look for a probiotic that has the largest number of bacteria that you can find. And when we talk about bacteria, we often say acidophilus, and this is a broad term that we use. There's actually many, many different strains of acidophilus. So you want to look for L. acidophilus strains, L. rhamnosus strains, and then bifidus strains, and they will be called, bifidus infantitis, or, lots of different things. So you want to look for a healthy proportion of bacteria in there, not only lactobacillus acidophilus bacteria, but bifidobacteria. Right. And then you want to look for something that has good clinical documentation on it, and you can typically see that when you see a strain that will say L. acidophilus, and it will have a strain number after it, like strain number 52, and it will cite, the raw material house that it comes from. So you're looking for all of those things. You're looking for clear labeling, and then, of course, price point, too. That's always important because we are, making supplements for people and for their health and well-being. We want to make sure that they are effective but yet affordable.
Right. Well, the other part of that is when folks read the side of the container, it says, there's a population of, let's say, 5 billion or 20 billion.
Right.
Is there a number people should look for in your mind?
We start off with about 5 billion. The population counts now go up to about 50 billion.
50 billion?
Yeah, so, 50, a large population.
So you can really load up on good books.
A large population is more for critical care. Right. When you have some sort of digestive disorder or, something is going on, a healthy maintenance dose is anywhere from 5 to 10 billion every day.
Yes, and the other thing I might add is if folks are interested, you don't have a dairy allergy and you're interested in getting some living probiotic support, always choose organic yogurt. Yeah. Because it doesn't have the antibiotic problem.
There's a great yogurt company called Nancy's Yogurt, and they have a great population of bacteria in there. But, to be honest, a lot of the Danone yogurts. Danone is a company from France, and they are actually a well-respected raw material, supplier of bacteria. And their product Activia has 2 very good strains in it. So these are commercially available. People can access them, and they're out there. They can find them everywhere.
Yeah, I think it is important to go for an organic yogurt, like I say, because it sort of defeats the purpose. I mean, if you're trying to, hey, good news, my yogurt is loaded with all these good bacteria. Oh well, bad news, it has antibiotics to eat them up and make them useless.
And a lot of sugars, too.
And a lot of sugars to make them all the worse. Exactly. Yeah. So, the organic yogurts, of course, my other suggestion is just to go plain, if you're okay with yogurt, go plain organic yogurt, and add your fruit.
Yeah, I love that. You can't get better than that.
Because that's like loading up, when you're loading up on both prebiotic and probiotic at the same time.
It's really amazing.
But I think that, it's important that folks just know that the planet is loaded with bacteria. And the good news is 99% of the bacteria on planet Earth is good stuff.
Yeah, it brings up a good point about all of the hand sanitizers and everything that people use, and I'm not against those, but we should play in the dirt. I mean, it builds your resistance, and kids live in such a sterilized world nowadays that they don't get exposed to the bacteria, and the bacteria are out there. They're on the fruits and vegetables and stuff. And the good bacteria are there.
Well, and not to mention the fact too that kids tend, unfortunately, to be squeamish eaters.
Right.
And moms and dads all too often are too busy to deal with that, so they cave in, and they're always giving them foods that are compromised.
Chicken nuggets.
Well, yeah, and a lot of sugary stuff, obviously, white flour, et cetera. So that, again, their ability to set up, to support, to feed the good probiotic bacteria in their systems with prebiotic food-rich products is not happening.
No, it's not happening.
So a lot of these kids really, again, are deficient in their prebiotic support.
Right.
Once again, prebiotics are what set up the probiotics, and again, they are the real initiators of good bacteria in the body. And where do they come from? Basically, fruits, whole grain products, veggies. So absolutely right. You want to get the wholesome food together for these kids just to give them a fighting chance. Otherwise, they get into this antibiotic merry-go-round, and it depreciates their immunity over a period of time quite severely.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a friend that she was just traveling in India, and she was really good. She was taking all of her supplements so that any of the pathogenic bacteria she wouldn't get.
Smart woman.
Yeah, and she forgot to take them, for a couple of days and ended up contracting something. And she actually found a homeopath in India.
Which is easy to do, by the way.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Because when the English first occupied India, they brought homeopathy, and it's become an amazing experience over there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I had never thought about that and how prominent it is over there. But yeah, she got really great care and, got herself back on track with no antibiotics. And it was only when she came back into the U.S. that they put her on antibiotics, and it messed up her system for almost a couple of years straight.
Well, and I think that, the homeopathic healthcare issue is so big overseas. I just had 2 patients in their late 30s on Friday who had just moved here from Europe. Mm-hmm. They lived in Italy all their lives and just moved here recently, great job opportunity, etc. And they said, we love it here. We love our work. We love living here. We love the people. The food is killing us.
Yeah.
Really, they did say that. Because the food in Europe doesn't have genetic modification.
It's not processed.
It's not processed. Everything is essentially clean and organic over there.
It is.
And they're not really used to dealing with the problems that they have been contending with. And, by the same token, in reverse, I can't tell you the number of people that I've seen over the years who had very profound food allergies, food sensitivities, immune sensitivities, a lot of health problems that I was working with. And then they'd go to Europe for 2 weeks, and they'd consume the foods in Europe that they would never dream of consuming here.
No problems.
And they came home feeling great.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, healthy food is always the core to this whole process.
Yeah, absolutely.
And building your immunity with a healthy diet is a starting point, certainly with good bacteria as well.
Yes.
So the idea of antibiotics, I think we haven't talked much about that, but, there's a real dilemma with antibiotics as well, that they're kind of cultured out, aren't they?
Multi-strain resistance.
Multi-strain resistance. And, the pharmaceutical industry is struggling right now to find new cultures.
Yeah, it's a real dangerous situation.
It is a very dangerous situation.
Particularly with staph infections. Staph infections, I think there's only one antibiotic left that is capable of treating.
Correct. That is right.
Yeah, staph infections. And, what happens is they just get rampant, and that's our last option.
Well, and to keep in mind that these bacteria will adapt.
Yeah.
And they're adapting at an alarmingly faster rate than ever anticipated. They're certainly adapting faster than our ability to come up with new cultures.
Oh,
and that's the real problem.
Yeah.
So the idea of really getting America's attention from the perspective of self-empowerment and taking things into their own hands and trying to build up good floral bacteria, good healthy bacteria to help them, because folks who eat well, folks who take a probiotic, these are not folks that are on antibiotics.
No, they don't.
I haven't been on an antibiotic in 45 years.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of the things when Massachusetts passed the mandatory health care.
Of course, now that I said that, I'll probably wake up sneezing.
Yeah, I know.
I got to knock on Formica real quick.
I know. Wait a minute. But, when Massachusetts passed the mandatory health care, program, I just was at a loss at, them forcing people to buy an insurance plan that, for myself, I would never use. I am happy to pay out of pocket for a chiropractor's appointment or,
Precisely.
The supplements that I use. I am happy to take care of my own health in that way, and I would never now I'm paying $400 a month for something that I would never even use. It's just
right.
lobbying.
America's going to end up paying $5 trillion
Right.
with only 1% allocated to prevention, and that
Right.
basically means colonoscopies.
Right, and I think
that's insanity.
And I think that's why, your show is very important, because as a nation, we are getting very close to, working on a national healthcare system, and we really need people to be vocal so that they determine the type of healthcare that they want.
And this is a really important time. I think people are certainly awakening to their own self-empowerment possibilities and to the alternative range of possibilities when it comes to preventing disease.
Yeah.
So I think it's an extremely important message,
Yeah.
and it's a very powerful shift in culture that we're experiencing right now, a very powerful time.
I never thought it would get this big. For you have worked in this industry for many years, and I thought it was going to be forever. Me having conversations with people
Absolutely.
about just the basics. I never thought it would get into the mainstream and that people would accept it as a consciousness, and we're seeing that happen now. It is just a wild experience. It's exciting.
It is exciting, and we have some other exciting news and a lot of interesting things to talk about. Candida's going to be on with us in a minute to help us explain and sort out all these changes.
The half hour goes so fast,
It
doesn't
goes
it?
by very, very quickly, but we have some very wonderful and some very big-time news to break here right after these breaks, so stay right where you are.
Tired of one-size-fits-all nutrition and wellness plans? Would you like to have a customized plan for you and you alone? Now you can learn a remarkable bioenergetic system that enables you to effortlessly self-analyze and customize your own nutrition and wellness. Join New England's leading natural healthcare expert, Mark Mincola, on Saturday, May 15th from 9 to 4 at the Coastal Church at 145 Webster Street in Hanover for an all-day muscle testing seminar intensive. Come learn Mark Mincola's EMT muscle testing system firsthand. Find out more about your body's bioenergetic strengths and weaknesses and learn how to tailor a nutrition and wellness plan that better suits your body's personalized needs. For information, call 781-834-2728 or log on to myhealthylivingmagazine.com. Come learn to maximize and personalize your wellness.
This is Catherine from Jarrow Formulas. We're happy to have continued our relationship with Mark Mincola in the Health and Healing Show, and we're happy to announce a new product from Jarrow Formulas called Jarrow Cell. We all know that as the body ages, it heals less rapidly and becomes frailer. Often the body is unable to process enough nutrients to repair weakening cartilage and protein fibers. A very important element in building and repairing your body is silicone. But unfortunately, as we grow, you may have difficulty absorbing adequate silicone from your diet. But now, thanks to a product called Jarrow Cell, you can be sure to get your share. Jarrow Cell can give you the silicone you need to support your bone health, bone mineral density, and in addition, Jarrow Cell strengthens and beautifies your hair, skin, and nails. Jarrow Cell is available now in a synergistic liquid formula that also includes boron and zinc. Ask for Jarrow Cell at your local health food stores. Or for more information, you can go to the Jarrow website, which is www.jarrow.com.
Hi there, this is Mark Mincola, the Natural Health and Healing Show. I know that so many of you out there are passionate about the latest cutting-edge nutritional information, would like to go on to that next level. I'm proud to announce that our new natural health care offices in Cohasset are offering personalized nutritional consultations. At Santi Holistic Healing, you'll experience an informative, individualized nutritional consultation by one of my finest personally trained nutritional experts. Your consultant will test you for specific food allergies and supplements. Together, you will chart out a personalized, optimal nutritional roadmap that will detail your healthiest foods and nutritional supplements, even specific doses. If that's not enough, we also offer relaxing healing massage at Santi Holistic Healing. Whether it's nutritional consulting or healing massage that you're interested in, we at Santi Holistic Healing are prepared to give you the healing experience of a lifetime. Call us at 781-383-3393. That's 781-383-3393 for the healing experience of a lifetime. Alrighty, welcome back. And, of course, as promised, none other than Candida is in the house.
It's fun.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Good. There you go. All right, so
Thank you, Larry.
we've got a few things to, we've got a little bit of business to straighten out here.
Well, actually, you guys are talking about movies. Have you seen Food Inc.?
Food Inc.?
Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's really intense.
Oh, my God. Robert Kenner, he's the producer of it.
No, I've not seen
They
it.
go behind the scenes of industrialized food making. It's absolutely, you have
It's
to see
like,
it.
you know, Michael Pollan's book, Omnivore's Dilemma.
Yes,
It's
yes.
like a visual of Pollan's
Love it.
book. Yeah.
I saw that today.
Like, folks, if you see this movie, Food Inc., it sounds like you'll always eat organic from that time forth, right?
Oh, yeah. You don't know what they do to your food. It's scary.
And those are really important films. I think those are really important statements for people to tap into to really kind of enhance their consciousness about what's happening with regards to food and food being medicine.
Absolutely.
You know, my theory is that food is a drug, and drugs can save life and they can take lives.
Absolutely.
And this sounds like the negative side of that equation. So,
No, well, that's really what got me involved in working with you and starting Healthy Living Magazine. And
yep,
now moving into 5 states.
yes, indeed, we
It's
are
going to be
indeed.
fun.
All right, so let's kind of spell this out. First of all, this 8 p.m. hour that has been so important to the community is going to continue in the same spirit because Suzanne Landry from our offices at Santee, who is one of my wonderful associates and very capable, able-bodied reporter here.
Yeah, she trained with you. She took your muscle testing
Yeah,
courses, too.
she's wonderful. She did the program last week for me.
Yeah, with quizzes and
With
all. It was
quizzes,
great.
et cetera. People enjoyed that. So Suzanne Landry is going to be here, and the program is going to be called the Nutrition and Wellness Hour. It'll be starting next Sunday at 8 o'clock right here. And I'm moving with you
Yeah.
to WTKK 96.
I got our bags packed.
That's right on the hallway. Right?
All our sponsors are in there.
That's at 96.9 FM, and that's going to be at 5 p.m. from now on. So the Natural Health Show will be at 5 p.m. on 96.9 FM, and then tune in here at 8 o'clock to WATD and listen to Suzanne Landry with the Nutrition and Wellness Hour. So we're really doubling it up here. So
Absolutely.
we're going to give them the old 1-2 punch as far as health and healing and natural medicine, et cetera. So
Right. We would never leave the South Shore dry, so we definitely make sure we have to fill the
we
gap.
want to double their money.
That's awesome.
We want to hit them with 2 great programs.
So they can listen to us while they're cooking dinner, have a little dinner, then listen to Suzanne before they go to bed.
Yes, or if you happen to be, if it's 5 o'clock and you happen to be driving back and forth from the Cape or ski country, you want to listen to us there. And
That's
then at
wonderful.
8 o'clock you can tune in to Suzanne here. So once again, we'll be from now on 96.9 FM, and that'll be 5 o'clock. And then Suzanne will be here at WAT at 8 o'clock in the Nutrition and Wellness Hour, rather. And we want to
And I'm
first
sure
of
you'll
all,
be a guest here on the show.
I'm sure I'll be invited once in a while here to disrupt the festivities. But first and foremost, I think it's really important that we wouldn't even be able to announce these things if it weren't for Mr. Ed Perry. And I don't just, I got to be honest with you, there's nobody in the business world like Ed Perry, a very special guy, and I'm going to miss him, and a real straightforward gentleman, honest and virtuous, and terrific at doing the wonderful work that he's done here.
That's for sure.
And allowing us the opportunity to let everybody know what's going on with these changes. And he's a pretty special guy. And, of course, Larry Nelson, once again, we're going to miss him. He's done a wonderful job stabilizing things. I remember we first did the program here years ago. Some of the engineers were, napping at the board, et cetera. So to have Larry come in here and just kind of take Larry, wake up now.
You're taking me with you, right? Or can I go back to my bag of potato chips again, right?
Oh, no.
Back to
Suzanne will take care of it.
Pretzels,
Suzanne will make sure that your eating habits are straightened out. She'll look after
water
you.
from the tap.
Living
And
dangerous.
don't forget Ed's better half, Carol, because she's really behind the
Absolutely,
scenes
no
on
question
everything.
about it. Ed's better half, Carol, needs to be saluted as well, so we do indeed salute Carol and everybody here for that matter. Rob Hackla and, everybody at ATD. So
Kathy D.
Kathy D, of course. We're going to miss them all, and we'll still be in and out of here, of course, and that'll be, I think, a special treat to be able to drive down the highway and finish our broadcast up in town and then come on in here and stop in and visit with Suzanne.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's great stuff.
Well, I took a break from my own show to help you kind
Yes.
of launch the WTKK. So I will be back starting March 1st at the 7:30 hour myself.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing is that we need to salute you here while we're giving out the
thanks.
salutes, because you've worked
Oh, yeah.
very, very hard to make all this happen. And really, bottom line of it, you've always been there to galvanize the South Shore, and now you're there to galvanize the greater Boston area, and it couldn't be more fitting. So
Thank you.
you've done a great job doing that very thing, making
so
sure that
excited.
all this information is available to the greater Boston
Oh,
area.
yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Well, it's for you and for Jarrow and Good Health and Personal Best. All those guys are coming with
Well,
us.
and you
so
know,
we
and
thank them.
I think too, you've really worked hard at bumping things up here too, as far as your live presentations with Bernie Siegel, Deepak Chopra. So, you know, you're breaking down some walls here, girl. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
you've worked hard, and well-deserved salute to you as well.
Thank you. And a couple of shout-outs for our new sponsors, Fitness Together and Landscaping by Hall.
Oh, wow.
We thank them as well.
Yes, and of course, Good Health Natural Foods has been here for 8 years of this. We've done nearly 400 programs over the 8 years, and Good Health has been here for every single one of them.
That's right. That's right.
So, and they're going on
The
forward with
flagship
us.
sponsor.
Yeah.
So,
And Alitas Laboratories right now.
Alitas Labs in Rockland as well, absolutely. So we've got some wonderful sponsors, great people who have the same vision, share that same vision, interested in helping us get the word out so that people can continue to grow in their own right as far as self-empowerment, natural medicine, healing alternatives, etc.
Right. And with WTKK, we're going to be blogging as well, so folks could actually interact with us
Fantastic.
right online.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And Catherine,
It's amazing.
your head is spinning over there.
Yeah, I think it's really amazing. It just kind of hit me this weekend. And the amount of people that you're going to reach is just huge. And, you know, when I was talking to Jarrow about the opportunity, you know, I told them that the time is really now
It
for,
is. It really is.
you know, for us to access a consumer base that may not normally seek out this type of information. And 96.9 is one of those stations that people just kind of turn on and
Absolutely.
listen to in the car. And just to reach one or two people that needed the information that wouldn't have had an avenue to find it is
Absolutely.
just an awesome opportunity.
Well, and you have been such a vital part of the process, as has Jarrow Formulas.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
It's really so important to us to keep these relationships together. And, you know, I think that's what we all are. We're brothers in arms.
Yep, absolutely.
So we've got the same vision, the same
Brothers
passion.
and sisters.
Brothers and sisters. You know, we're actually brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers.
There you
Let's leave it right there. Families in arms.
There you go.
So we're looking forward to these changes. There's other new changes as well right around the corner. I have all my new books are coming together.
That's remarkable.
They'll be at a major publishing house. We just the course of the past 10 months, I rewrote the first 3 books that I wrote years ago, and they've been basically completely renovated and revised and stripped down soup to nuts. And there's 2 brand new books that I wrote this summer, and there's a 6th book that I'm working on right now. So
Wow, Mark.
those are all going to be under
Isn't that amazing?
one major
Yes.
publishing house, and they're soon going to be released in 6 different languages and wonderful stuff. I was in Montreal last weekend to talk about a very major international business project that I'll soon be able to talk about as well. Well, it's unfolding as we speak. It's
exciting.
It's very exciting.
Very
It's
cool.
unfolding as we speak, but things seem to be moving and up and away here right now. So great stuff.
And the new show starts next week.
It does indeed. Next Sunday at 5 o'clock at WTKK 96.9 FM, 5 p.m. Don't forget
That's
that time.
amazing.
The 28th. That'll be our first show.
Wow, February 28th.
February 28th.
So onward we go.
That's exciting. You have a seminar you're doing as well coming
Yes,
up, don't
indeed.
you?
We have a couple things coming up. I'll be this coming Thursday. I'll be at Maxime Maxime Salon, and that'll be in Hingham. And I'm doing a cooking program there. Actually, we have some,
Oh, no, I saw that. That's neat.
some media people there, and it's a Cooking with Mark night. So
Great.
That is so
anybody
cool.
interested, you can contact Maxime Salon in Hingham.
On Derby Street.
Derby Street in Hingham. It'd be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great time, and we're going to be preparing some very interesting breakfast, lunch, and dinner meals that folks can do themselves, similar to the stuff that we've done on the website, the Max Meals in
Yep.
Minutes. So,
Are you doing tastings too?
yeah, of course, absolutely.
That's great.
So, and Amy's going to be there from Santee, so she's going to be kind of helping support the process a little bit. So, it should be a fun night. And then, yes, the March presentation down at the Red Lion that we're doing. So folks can check out our website for a lot of the dates and the information. There's a lot of dates coming up, and Adam Ing, of course, thanks to him for putting the new website together. But you can go on to either markmincola.com or maxhealing.com and check out all the new information, all the shifting of gears, and all the upcoming events, quite a few of them happening. And And we've got a muscle testing
Oh,
presentation.
yeah, May
too.
15th.
May 15th. So
It's an all-day muscle testing system.
yes, indeed. We'll be at the Red Lion actually March 11th, and we'll be May 15th, of course, at the Coastal Community Church in Hanover.
Yeah.
Wow.
So check out all those dates. There's quite a few of them, quite a lot of things we're doing these days. And wow, amazing stuff. How did you? Now, the thing I want to know is how are you possibly keeping all of this together? You've got these kids at home and keeping them healthy through the winter months. And
I know.
not an easy chore.
You should see my laundry, Mark. Thank goodness for Kohl's. Ran out of socks, let's just go to Kohl's.
That's funny. That's funny. That goes back to my old days. Whenever I needed a shirt, I'd go buy one.
I know.
Wash it now. Just go buy a new shirt.
I know.
That's fun.
So thank you, Candida, so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
And
I'm so excited. It's going to be amazing. Oh, one last time.
yeah,
Thanks, Larry.
Larry's got to get you one more time on that. Take a short break. We'll be right back.
It's fresh and clean.
Tired of one-size-fits-all nutrition and wellness plans? Would you like to have a customized plan for you and you alone? Now you can learn a remarkable bioenergetic system that enables you to effortlessly self-analyze and customize your own nutrition and wellness. Join New England's leading natural health care expert, Mark Mincola, on Saturday, May 15th from 9 to 4 at the Coastal Church at 145 Webster Street in Hanover for an all-day muscle testing seminar intensive. Come learn Mark Mincola's EMT muscle testing system firsthand. Find out more about your body's bioenergetic strengths and weaknesses and learn how to tailor a nutrition and wellness plan that better suits your body's personalized needs. For information, call 781-834-2728 or log on to myhealthylivingmagazine.com. Come learn to maximize and personalize your wellness.
Hi, this is Laura from Good Health. If you've never visited Good Health Natural Foods, now is the time. We carry organic food, produce and herbs, natural groceries, and gluten-free products. Our nutrition department includes homeopathics, natural cosmetics, and sports nutrition. Good Health promises everyday low prices and exceptional customer care. For your shopping convenience, we're open until 7 p.m. on Saturdays. Let us help you get healthy, feel better, and look your very best today. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Alrighty, welcome back. And we're going to talk a little bit more with Catherine Foley about some of the earlier issues that we were kicking around here. And, of course, these things are readily available. Where?
Good Health Natural
That's
Foods.
exactly and where is Good Health located?
Quincy and Hanover. Give them the address, Mark.
1637 Hancock Street, downtown Quincy, 617-773-4925, or 219 Columbia Road, Route 53, Hanover, 781-826-0808 for all things natural. It is.
Good Health Natural Foods.
It is indeed. So probiotics are really important, as we've been saying here all this evening. And, the other part of that equation is, of course, that there are many different types of probiotics out there. And folks, I think, need to know some of these distinctions about which brands, which ones. Now, which Jarrow brand of probiotic do you take or do you recommend?
I take the Femdophilus product. It's just, I think Dr.
No,
Reed's...
men are sitting at home saying, I'm not going to take the Femdophilus. I'm just not going there.
or the Jarrodophilus EPS, which is
That's
shelf
fine,
stable.
So I like the EPS.
Yeah.
It's a great product.
How many do they have? I thought that's all they
We
had.
have 8 different
Really?
probiotics. We have a high potency one that came out, Ultra Jarrodophilus. It's a 40 billion count. And then we're coming out with a couple new probiotics. So we're coming out with a very special strain that is going to be for the treatment of IBS, clinically documented. And because the clinical studies have been done, the FDA is allowing us to have a health claim and to actually say treats IBS. This strain is also going to be pharmaceutically licensed as well, so doctors will be educated on it, and they will be selling their patients the pharmaceutical one, but patients will know that they can come get it in the natural sector.
Now, tell me, is the pharmaceutical grade different?
No.
Is it going to be more
More
powerful?
expensive.
That's it?
Yeah, it'll be more expensive.
So what is the what is the purpose for licensing it pharmaceutically?
Some people just, they want it, prescription. That's just how they're used to getting things. And,
Wow.
It's a
Kind of like you can get folic acid
exactly.
or B12 from your doctor.
Yep,
Right.
it's exactly like that. It's a psychology thing, The other big strain that's out there that is similar is Culturelle,
Right.
which is Lactobacillus GG.
Yes.
And that strain is also available in the natural sector. And most physicians will say, you can get this at a health food store as well. So, there is a lot of crossover, but I think it's just wonderful that physicians are going to be educated on this new strain.
I think that's great.
Because it offers a lot of, it validates what we do.
It does.
And I hate to say that, but it is really important that, we do get that recognition from physicians, It's, they can't deny the science. And that's how Jarrow has always been as a company.
No, certainly they can deny the science.
They do. I know. They do all the time.
1989 isn't all that long ago. The Sloan Kettering Cancer Institute released a press release that suggested that anybody that says that nutrition or food have anything whatsoever to do with cancer is a quack.
My friend was getting
That is
surgery.
unbelievable.
Yeah, my friend was getting surgery, and her doctor said to her, just, stop taking any vitamins. And, because my friends and family are so well educated, they can get a little, feisty. And so she looks at him and she goes, right, because vitamins don't work, huh?
There you go. Duplicitous. You can't have it both ways.
After my mother had her heart attack, I went to see her over at, can I say where now? I walk in and I'm like, oh, you okay? Yeah. And she's eating a ham sandwich with mayo on white bread with coffee and sugar. I said to the nurse, hello, this woman just had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Does anybody realize what she's eating?
Yeah.
Is anybody home?
Yep. My favorite
So
one
great.
is when people are on blood thinners and they're like, well, I can't take any vitamins because I'm on blood thinners. And I'm like, maybe you should get off the blood thinner and, take some vitamins.
And let's be honest about it. I think that there's an awful lot of people that still think the most important way to gain weight is milkshakes.
Yeah.
There are a lot of physicians that say, look, you just need to increase your calories, take some more milkshakes.
Right.
I mean, that
Carnation.
It does.
that is astounding to me. But anyway, back on the high road here.
So it is great that this probiotic is going to be out there. It's clinically researched. People are going to be educated on it, and it's treating IBS. I mean, it's not preventing IBS. It's treating.
And that's my next question for you is, who out there needs a probiotic? Does everybody need a probiotic? Are there specific folks out there? I mean, surely I read a study that indicate that probiotics actually help balance hormones.
Oh, they absolutely
I saw that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the average person out there who has hormonal imbalances could benefit from a probiotic.
Oh, I think everybody, should take probiotics. And like you were talking about
colorectal cancer risks.
Yeah, you were talking about Europe. Probiotics are mainline defense. I mean, everybody takes a probiotic. It's just, in Europe and Japan, everybody takes one. It's not even considered alternative.
It's like Flintstone vitamins. Remember those?
But I think too, the important message here is this isn't something you take after you get sick.
No.
This is something you want to prevent illness. I mean, think of the number of illnesses that are bacterially driven.
Yeah.
And the idea, especially, I keep thinking about kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because the number of kids over the years, you know the story. They're on the merry-go-round over and over. And I think it's so important for moms and dads to be thinking in terms of preventing the next occasion, the next sickness.
Right. And, it also helps with food allergies. When you are... when the bacteria are fermenting, the bacteria are your very last stage of digestion. Mm-hmm. And so the stages of digestion go from breaking up food into larger and continually finer pieces of foodstuffs or molecules. And bacteria are the micro-digestion. And if you don't have healthy bacteria, what happens is that larger food particles, i.e. allergens, get into the lower intestine where they're not supposed to. So your body doesn't recognize them as being normal, so it produces an allergic response to it. So it's very, very important for those things like gluten and lactose and all of those things. You need that last stage of, it's the chemical fermentation. It's like the final micro digestion. If not, you're getting all of those like large particles down there, and your body doesn't have a system for recognizing them, so it looks at them as an allergen.
Well, and that's an environment that you really need to work very hard at keeping homeostasis happening there, because a lot of these single cell yeasty bacteria that are in our gut have what are called rhizoids, and rhizoids are like these little tails that are like drills, and they drill up into the tissues, and they actually allow the bacteria to literally hide up in those interstitial tissues. So, even an antibiotic can't even get at them.
No.
So it's really important to just keep the constant presence of good bacteria in there. We always say the ratio wants to be about 4 to 1, so that even if you slip from a ratio of 4 to 1 down to like 3 to 1, you're going to be profoundly ill. And the other thing I wanted to mention real quickly is we often talk about pH, the importance of alkalization and keeping a stable, healthy pH. If you want to keep a healthy bacterial presence in your intestines, you have to maintain that good alkaline pH.
Oh, you are so right.
Those fruits and vegetables are a lot more important than you realize.
Oh, you're so right. The bacteria are very, very sensitive to pH changes. And that's why, when we talk about who should take a probiotic, we already talked about antibiotics, food, antibiotics in the food system, so we already have a number of things out there that are killing bacteria populations. And now if you add in changes of pH, you can go from a healthy population to a bad population overnight.
Yeah, so I think that we pretty much have, made the point that there are some really good products available out there.
Right. And you'll find, when it comes to bacteria, you want exposure to as many as you can possibly get. It's good to rotate. And
that's exactly right.
Yeah, people can rotate inside of the Jarrow brand, or they can rotate outside.
But I'm still not taking femdophilus.
I didn't know about that.
I had a customer one time, and they're like, "Where's Mandophilus?" And I was like,
Great question. I like that.
I was like, I don't know.
I like that. That's funny.
But yeah, it's so it's good to healthy exposure and rotation and things
How
like
often
that.
should you do that?
They say like every 2 to 3 months.
Oh, really? For kids too?
Yep.
Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up, too, is that there are some easier forms of delivery for children. I need to mention real quickly, because the average mom is thinking, well, I can't get my children to swallow pills. What do I do?
We have a chewable. It's called Yum Yum Dophilus, and it's amazing. And they can chew it. It tastes great. It's sweetened with xylitol and lohan, so there are no sugars in it. There's also the powder, and you can put the powder in yogurt. And now you have a bacteria-rich yogurt. It's easy.
So, easy delivery.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. So the probiotic issue is one that everybody out there really needs to face up to, because this is a really important day in and day out health issue for you folks out there. A lot of bacteria that you need to protect and defend yourself in the face of that throughout the course of the average day, you can't imagine what you encounter. It's amazing.
Do you double up when you're taking an antibiotic? If you're taking an antibiotic, for those mothers out there who might.
Oh, no, that's very important. It's really, because for a long time, it was people were saying, take your antibiotic, don't take the probiotics at the same time because it defeats the purpose. But we really have shown that it does not defeat the purpose. That
it's important to do it.
Yeah, the delivery time of the antibiotic is so different than the delivery time of the probiotic release in the capsule. It's like one takes 5 hours to get down there, the other takes 2. So you can actually really take them both at the same time.
And should. Yes, absolutely right.
And more than you normally would as a preventative while you're sick? Or?
Yes, absolutely. And that's where the larger colony count comes in, the 50 billion and the 40 billion is, if you're on antibiotics, you're going to increase the dosage. And then particularly when you finish your course of antibiotics, to have a larger dose that the next couple of weeks after that.
Good stuff. Thank you so much for helping us with all this information. Catherine Foley, per usual.
Thank you.
Always right on the money. And Candida, thank you so much for all your wonderful hard work over these many months.
Oh,
and
it's been fun.
You've done a great job. Again, thanks to WATD. And, Larry Nelson is of course, our mainstay here. He has been for much of our time here at ATD. And Ed Perry, a very special influence here. And we'll miss them all, but be back to visit. And once again, we want to remind everybody that the 8 p.m. slot starting next week here at WATD next Sunday night will be the Nutrition and Wellness Hour with Suzanne Landry, my compadre. So don't miss her. She's got some wonderful tricks up her sleeve for you to keep you well. And we're going to be moving a little bit earlier. So set that alarm for 4:59 because at 5 p.m. Next Sunday and from that Sunday on, we'll be at 96.9 FM WTKK. And that, again, will be where the Natural Health Show is moving. And great stuff. You get 2 for the price of 1 here. You're going to have us at 5, and you're going to have Suzanne with the Nutrition and Wellness Hour at 8 p.m. So been a lot of remarkable experiences we've had here. I look back over the 8 years, and amazing. Bill Coleman first brought us in here, so our thanks to Bill Coleman because he convinced me that radio is a great medium for my message. And, of course, he was a visionary. He turned out to be absolutely right about that. And, Nancy Sheen was part of the program for years. We've had some great help from Nancy, of course, and we salute her and her wonderful work. She's still working with Senator Hedlund and his program, so great work that she's done here with us and with Senator Hedlund. But, again, so many memories, so many remarkable people. We've had Olympic silver medalists on the program.
I know. I remember her ribos.
We've had some, amazing. We've had some, of course, Jaro was on the broadcast lighting up the entire South Shore. So,
well, he's got another. We'll talk about it in the future. Senator McCain just proposed a bill that is very, very scary. So,
yes, he did, didn't he?
Fired up.
Yes, indeed. I'm sure that Jaro is probably not sleeping at night right now. He's got a mission that he's on right now, just like we do.
On his way to Waxman's office.
On his way to Waxman's office. Look out, Senator Waxman.
But yeah, I just want to say congratulations to you as well. When I met you guys, I felt so lucky to be part of what you are all doing. And when I met you guys, I knew, number one, these guys are really smart. They know what they're talking about. They present the information in such a great way. They make it understandable and they make it attainable. And you don't leave the science behind. And I really think that's amazing. And I think everybody that has been around you, you just have created an amazing world for so many people that are a part of it.
Thank you so much, Catherine. That was very kind of you. And you've been a family member here, so you're one of us. And we're really happy for that, too. We love having you on board with us, and we're looking forward to moving forward with you.
Thank you.
And the same for Jaro, and please pass it on to him. We really feel very proud to have him involved in our work.
Yeah, he's thrilled.
He's a wonderful, wonderful man.
Thank you.
And for everybody, of course, out there at Good Health Natural Foods, we want to salute them as well. Make sure you get on down to Good Health Natural Foods this week and get your probiotics. And they'll take good care of you. Say hello to Nick Mincola. And you know who else is working down there now?
No.
Vanessa Mincola.
Oh, my goodness.
My 17-year-old daughter's there in the afternoons after school. So she's
so cool.
working the cash register. So get on down and say hello. Also, thanks to Adam Ing for all the wonderful web work and all the podcasting. And you can also check all this information out. You can watch tonight's broadcast this week off our website, thanks to Adam. So that's www.maxhealing.com. And once again, thank you, WATD, and thank you, everybody out there listening. Great. All right. Thanks for the wonderful 8 years, and we'll talk to you next week on 96.9 FM at 5 p.m. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Take care.
95.9 WATD FM, Marshfield.